Hello, folks. It's Amey B. I'm here at the Exit Inn in Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm with Saint Jezebel, the metal rock band here in Nashville that's going to rock the night away. They've been so kind to let us into their dressing room where they tell me the magic happens here soon, but I think I'll just shoot on out of here before then. But anyway, we wanted to do an interview with them. They've been so gracious to let us come in and talk to them a little bit, so you, the fans, can get to know them. You know their music, but you want to get to know them a little bit, what makes them, kind of turn and work and put this whole thing together. We just listened to their sound check and it was fabulous, so you got to stick around because the show's going to be coming right after the interview. I'm going to start off with introducing the band. Tell me your name, your instrument.
I'm Rod Saylor. I'm drummer.
There you go.
Bob Gowan, guitars.
Dennis Marino, guitars, vocals.
There you go.
Terry Hudgens, bass guitar.
Okay. Let's talk about how you guys put this thing together. Who wants to tell me how the band came together?
Dennis?
Yeah.
Bob and I had worked together for about 4 years in a previous project. We weren't happy, so we decided we're going to branch out and try and do something a little different. I'd known Terry. Terry and I played together in a band when we were about 17 years old.
Oh, wow.
It was a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Terry one night and I said, "Hey, man, do you know any veteran bass players that want a gig?" And he said, "Me." And I said, "You're hired."
There you go.
No audition, none of that.
Yeah. No resume.
No.
That's
I already knew his reputation, so
Yeah.
I was satisfied with that. He wanted the gig, he got the gig, no questions asked. Rod, we actually booked our first gig without a drummer, and the girl that put the show together sent me a message. She said, "You still looking for a drummer?"
Yeah.
I said, "Absolutely." So, "Well, I know a guy. He may not fit in." She said, "His name's Rod Saylor." I said, "All right, well, go look him up." Well, look him up. Here's this little guy with a big, tall mohawk. Got a great look. And I thought,
He rocks.
yeah, I thought if he can play as good as he looks, I'm going to hire him on the spot. Well, we
There
got
you go.
together. We borrowed another band's rehearsal room. Got together and rehearsed one night. About 5 minutes after we started playing, Saint Jezebel was pretty much a finished product.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you guys that we got to be able to go and check out the rehearsal a couple weeks ago before the show. Go check out their music, get a vibe and feel for their music. And what he's saying is completely true. This guy is a monster on drums. He's one of all of these players.
And he's
are
a snappy dresser.
Yeah, he's a real snappy dresser, and I just love his hair. So, but yeah, these boys really rock, and you could tell that it's a nice chemistry together. They work well together. They sound great. They brought all these influences. And tell me a little bit about your influences. Like, when you were young, coming up, who really influenced you music-wise that you brought to the table now to play, what you're doing now?
Growing up, I had two major influences. It was Tommy Lee and
Okay.
Lars Ulrich.
All right.
That was it.
Cool.
And as I progressed over the last 5 or 6 years, I started getting into Ray Luzier. He's now the drummer for Korn, but
Okay.
he was with David Lee Roth for a while, and
Sure.
he was with Army of Anyone, and his style. It took me a while to be able to get to figure out what he was doing, but now it's just like that's basically my biggest influence. And I do have a couple other influences like John Fred Young from Blackstone Cherry.
I love those. I've seen them a couple times, and they are so good.
Yeah,
they're Kentucky boys, right?
Yeah. I've seen them 3 times. I got to sit down and talk
they're
with.
awesome.
I got to sit down and talk with John Fred
I love them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
next
was
time we
cool.
come to town, we'll get together and go to a show.
Oh yeah.
Yes, there you go. And for you?
Oh, I went through a whole bunch of different phases growing up. I grew up on like thrash metal and did a little grunge, in the 90s. Just, whatever. Yeah, that was my generation.
Sure.
But I got into jazz a lot in my
cool.
early 20s or whatever, and
Yeah.
whatever. I listen to all kinds of different music, but
Is there any one player that just really sets the rest of them apart for you? That you heard them, you went, "Oh yeah, man, I get it. I really get that. I get what that guy's doing."
oh yeah, they got a couple favorites. You got Steve Vai, Randy Rhoads.
Yes, Randy Rhoads.
I got the tat of Rhoads right there.
Oh, I love it.
You know,
Yeah, awesome.
friggin'
He died
phenomenal.
way too young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell him what he could have accomplished and done.
We do a Randy Rhoads Aussie tune in our set
Yeah.
once in a while.
Sure.
So,
Are you going to do that tonight?
Yes.
Oh, good. I can't wait to hear that. Yeah, I'm
Actually,
gonna be.
we're debuting it tonight.
Oh, I'll be. Oh, that's right. That's right. We got to hear it first at rehearsal. That's right. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait. It's gonna be great. Okay. How about you, my dear?
My biggest influences are Randy Rhoads, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Steve Lukather.
There you go.
That's pretty much it. The 3 best guitar players on planet Earth ever.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So
No.
we're your big influence.
That's-
When did you start playing? How old were you when you first picked it up? Picked up the guitar?
I had a little advantage over most kids. I grew up in a house full of musicians.
Uh-huh.
My dad was a very successful producer. So when other kids were growing up with plumbers and doctors, I saw guitars.
Sure.
So I've been playing since I was about 9. I started out as a drummer.
Did you?
Yeah, I was pretty good. I could wail on Johnny Be Good. But,
Oh, cool.
But I had an older brother that was a very accomplished guitar player by the time he was 10.
Right.
Surrounded by all kind of, country writers, Kenny
Sure.
Rogers, Dottie West, all that.
Oh, yeah.
So
Old school.
Oh, very old school.
Old school.
But I started playing when I was officially playing guitar when I was 12.
Yeah.
Been playing ever since. I don't think there's been a day that's gone by in that time I haven't picked up a guitar.
There you go.
So,
There you go. Yeah.
Bob,
There you go.
Bob wants to play.
Bob wants to, well, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes he wants to play. Poor fella. You got to let him do it every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's part of brotherly band love, okay?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
I know, I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. I can see it. And Terry.
My biggest influences was Geezer Butler and Steve Harris. And
Geezer.
a friend of mine named Scully from Ireland.
Yeah.
He was very
Yeah.
good. And Gene Simmons.
Oh, really?
Can't forget Gene Simmons.
Oh, I love it. I love Gene Simmons. I do. I really do. I love Gene Simmons. And for you, when did you start, thinking, hey, man, I think I might play a little bass guitar?
Well, started out when I was 13
Uh-huh.
years old. Started out playing country and
Yeah.
gospel.
Right.
But then I seen Kiss, and that's what
That was
made
it.
me say,
You converted. You converted from all that to, what you are today. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. If
Exactly.
that doesn't convert you, nothing will.
That's right.
That's for sure. Now tell me about your songwriting. Now, do you guys, is there anyone particular in the group that does the songwriting, lyrics and music, or do you guys collaborate on all the music too?
It's kind of here's how it works. I usually come up with an idea for a lyric. I do the front man bit, so it's comfortable for me to come up with a
Sure.
lyric. I'll
get
put
that.
together a rough demo,
Mm-hmm.
and usually pretty good song to start with. But then I bring it in. I'll play it for Bob. Bob will hear something he wants to put on it, so we get together. We have our own studio,
Yeah.
so we get together. Bob will come over and play something. I'll ship a copy off to Rod, a copy off to Terry. It really doesn't come together as a song until we all get in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, I can write songs all
That's
day
what,
long.
what makes your sound, man.
Yeah.
You got all these, I'm interviewing you and you've got your influences. You've got yours, you've got yours, you've got yours. And they're all a little different, but the same kind of too, So when you bring all those influences together, it just makes it sweet, man. That's
Yeah.
what gives you St. Jezebel's sound.
Well, we all pretty much agree that it's not really a St. Jezebel song till we've all played it in the rehearsal room.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
And there's really no, this guy has to do this or this guy has to do that. If Bob's parts are better for the song than mine,
Sure.
and we got a new song we're debuting tonight. Terry wrote a bass line for it that was completely different from the guitar riff that I wrote, but halfway
Yeah.
through rehearsal, I stopped rehearsal. I said, "Man, we got to change that."
See,
it's
I
yours.
love that about these guys. The egos stay out of the room when you're in there playing music. I mean, seriously, because that's what can tear a band apart faster than anything. I can tell you, I know from experience. So, to hear something like that is really cool with me. I like that. I like that.
We just really don't give a crap about it. We just want to play.
Yeah.
We kinda
Absolutely. And whatever makes it the best it can be, that's what's important. It's not like who wrote it, who did this or that. It's like what in the ending result is what you're looking for,
Yeah,
So
we feed off each other very well.
Yeah, you
Because
do.
when we do finally get something going on and we build on it at the rehearsal room, if Terry starts doing something that he has an idea and he starts doing something and I hear something that I could do with it, it doesn't even have to get discussed. All of a sudden
Yeah.
it just changes
Just
and
happens.
We actually
and
just
That's
talk to each other by playing. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
it's like, I just understood that too. Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah. If you need a chick in the band, let me know. I understand that kind of stuff. Yeah.
so it morphs it all together, and everybody agrees on it. If one person doesn't agree on it, then we just don't do it.
Yeah.
We're just like, okay, if it's not
Put it back on the
everybody,
table.
if it's not everybody agreeing on it, then it doesn't fit St. Jezebel.
Yeah.
Because we have to all sit
Yeah,
in
and you
there.
guys have a great sound, a very unique sound. It's a heavy sound, but yet I've heard your stuff, and you've got some softer side of yourself too. And the lyrics are most important to me, and you have something to say. You know,
you have to tell the story.
you got to tell a story, man. Because if you're not telling a story, you're not touching anybody.
Right. If you can't
know,
tell a story,
right.
with your song, anybody can
You want somebody on the crowd to go, oh man, oh yeah,
Sure.
that's my
Anybody
story.
Can,
Oh, yeah.
You
Anybody
know.
can sing into a microphone. Anybody can scream.
You got
you
it.
know.
You guys don't scream and all that. I
But-
love that.
Now we have a
That's
couple of
what-
songs that have Cookie Monster in it.
Yeah.
You know, Bob does a real good Cookie
Yeah.
Monster. So
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah,
But, he's
you know,
pretty-
he's a cookie monster.
he's pretty demented when he does it. So we
Yeah,
like
I
it,
see
but,
that.
No, but you got to be able to tell a story with your song.
Sure.
You know, if you can't tell a story, you know, you're not going to keep people's interest. You know, so
Exactly.
everything and a lot of the stuff that we write. You know, we get messages all the time. Oh, this song meant this to me, or this,
And
this.
that's
I feel like
cool.
this today, and this is exactly what this song says to me. So we kind of write songs that everybody can take something from.
Sure.
You know, so hopefully people, when they hear it, they'll like it, and
There
then
you go.
they'll take
Awesome.
something from it.
Awesome stuff. Let me ask you this. You guys have a race car
Yes.
with Saint Jezebel on it.
We do have a
Now,
Saint Jezebel race
tell
car.
me, I've seen this. I've seen a picture of it. I've seen the T-shirt. I've seen the T-shirt, okay, and the picture. And there's this beautiful young girl that drives the heck out of this race car, folks. I mean, you've got to
Miss
see
Whitney
this, and we're
Clifton.
going to try to show you some of this a little bit as we do this video and everything. So we'll see if we can't throw some pictures in there for you to check it out. Saint Jezebel's all over this car, and it goes round and round and round. How the heck did you do this? How this happen?
Well,
Okay.
My brother-in-law races the semi-pro NASCAR.
Oh, cool.
So he was trying to get in it this year,
Yeah.
but he couldn't get enough sponsors to get his car going.
Right.
And he's a really good friend with the Clifton race team, and the
Oh,
Clifton
wow.
race team is an entire family. There's Zach, Whitney, and her dad is Ronnie Clifton, and then his brother is. They're all huge in the North Carolina area as far
Right.
as the semi. Well, the way we got it was they were good friends with him, and he was just like, hey, they need a sponsor for the hood.
Yeah.
And
it looks so cool.
He sent a picture of the band, and he was
Yeah.
like, hey, this is the guys. Their music's heavy, but they want to sponsor you. You
Yeah.
know? And so he was like, absolutely, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And he printed out T-shirts for Whitney Clifton that have our name on the back.
Yeah.
And now, see, Bowman Gray, this racetrack is it's a legend in the Winston-Salem area. They used to have a reality show every Saturday night called the Madhouse, and it was on one of the cable stations weekly.
Yeah.
Well, the place packs in about 15,000 people
Oh, wow.
every Saturday.
Get the heck out.
No, it
Yeah.
it loads, and in our eyes, I
Concert
mean,
venue.
we talked about it, and in our eyes, it was well worth the money, because all we have to do is get the name on there
Sure.
and just really push her, and
Yes.
she pushes us, and
You
now
get those fans.
now we've got fans in North Carolina.
Yeah.
We've got people in North Carolina asking us. So we're working out some ways that we can get up there and
Sure.
do a couple of shows.
I was going to ask you, yeah, you guys, I know you're doing some local stuff, a lot of local things, but you guys plan on like doing like a little road trip. And so I've seen the bus. They do have a bus, so it's mobile, and the Saint Jezebel bus. And maybe we should just take a little film picture of it one day and put it in here. So when you see it go by, you'll know who that is. You just beep at them, say, "Hey man, pull over and rock me," So yeah. So you guys plan on like hitting the road a little bit?
Absolutely. We're right now we're in the finishing processes of working some new material out. We got some promotion to do, and then all things willing.
Yeah.
The St. Jezebel bus will be cruising down the road to a city near you.
Okay, fans, this is going to be a little voting thing. And when you go onto their Facebook page and you like them, this is where you can vote. Now, we want to know who is prettier. I want you to go on Facebook. And I want you to do this as soon as you see this interview. And I want you to go straight to Facebook, find St. Jezebel, like them. And then I want you to go in, I want you to do a little contest and let them know who you think is better looking. Who's prettier? Okay, that's what we want. That's what we want to know.
The Prince of the Frog.
The Prince of the Frog. Now, who's the Prince? The Frog. Oh, you're not gonna. Oh, okay. Can band members vote? Nope, because we don't want to start any trouble here. So that's your job. Go to Facebook, find these guys, like them, and then we want to vote on this. Okay, get a look at these two faces. You'll never forget them. I promise you. I promise you. Again, this is Amey B. We're at the Exit Inn in Nashville, Tennessee. Stick around because the show is coming now.